Neecee Lexy, unleash the power of your creativity. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Neecee Lexy. We're super excited to have our very own Toronto artist who is known as Shelly, but she goes by Michelle. Today, I'm super excited to have her here because Michelle is a talented artist. She has the voice of an angel. If you guys hear her song, it's such amazing. Apart from that, she's also a business owner. She have her own swimwear. We're going to be dabbling into today's interview to get to know more about her and also how she got into the music industry, as well as some of the wisdom she could share with you guys here today. So without further ado, please allow us to welcome Michelle. How are you doing, girl?
Hey, Lexi, how are you? I'm good.
I'm good. I am excited to have you. And I told my audience that you have been in my mind for the longest since I started the show. And we are 5 years
Honestly,
in, and I'm super glad to finally have you.
you too. The first day I met you, I loved how you're so driven, a hard worker. You actually inspired me. And my Pisces sisters, you inspire me. I want to be a hardworking lady. I see you doing your thing too. So keep going.
Thank you, thank you. So, Michelle, for those who don't know you, obviously we have some viewers that are tapping in from East Africa or Europe. So, for those who are obviously in Canada, they probably already know about you. But for our new audience, can you just basically a little bit introduce yourself and elaborate on who you are as a person and things like that?
I've been doing music for like a long time. My name is Michelle Osei, but I actually started from church. But I'm being honest, I haven't been really going to church, but it always gave me like that drive and having that faith to keep going because I did grow up in a church. And, I'm just trying to expand
Mm-hmm.
and just be worldwide. I feel like I kept myself in a bubble for a very long time. And I'm being honest, I let like certain thoughts, emotions hold me back. But I just took a time to heal, get to know myself, get to know what I like, what I don't like. And I feel like I'm still in that process of knowing myself. But right now, I'm kind of firm of who I know I am and what I want to do. And that's music,
Yeah.
So I just still have that faith in me. And yeah, started to do gospel songs. If we like go way, way back, then I started to do hip life, more R&B. So right now, I'm starting to do all of them, but more like not talking about, how do I say it? Not more of love because yeah, like love ain't gonna get you paid. I'm joking, but I'm just trying to talk about more of real life experience that I have been through. So if people do listen to my music, they can be like, hey, I experienced this stuff. I can relate to this, so
Mhm.
I can inspire others. So that's why.
Amen to that.
Thank
Well,
you.
I am glad, you are in the better side of things and you're working on yourself and finding also like kind of discovering your deep love in music. Because for me personally, I just knew you're such a talented person when I heard your voice the first time when we started that show for Siva.
Thank you.
And I'm like, no, this girl got voice. Why is she not producing a lot of songs?
Thank you. I really
I've
appreciate it.
always been a fan of you and your voice and everything like that. I'm glad you took that effort to heal and also going 100% on your music. So without further ado, I wanted to also get a little bit about understanding. I know you said you grew up in church and you started your music in church. So who inspired you to actually start singing? Was it like you had the music in your family kind of thing, or there was an artist you're like, no, I can be like that.
It's so funny. Honestly, my whole family, like some of them act like they don't sing, but my whole family is very talented. Like my even my brothers, up to my twin brothers, they actually sing. Sometimes they'll be singing in the shower, but like it's vocals, it's good vocals. But what really inspired me, I feel like I still had that genes,
Yeah,
but what really inspired me was I had like I feel like I had an uncle that I was very quiet.
yeah.
Like, even if I wanted to say something, I would not say it. Like, I'll keep it to myself. Just growing up, I was on mute. I feel like there's one uncle like he heard me sing one time and is like he believed in me so much. He'd be like, okay, next week I want you to sing, in front of the whole church.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? I never did this in my life. I'm gonna go sing. So that day I ended up singing and I was just so nervous. I literally cried in the washroom, like, oh my gosh, did I do good? And I just remember some lady, she started like tearing up. She's like, oh, your voice is just so beautiful. Like, I have to like acknowledge you. Like, she
Yeah.
actually gave me money. I'm like, oh, like started crying. I'm just like,
Oh,
and it meant a lot to me because she didn't even know behind
yeah.
closed doors. I went to go cry too. So just having someone like
Yeah.
believing in me and having that faith
Yeah.
made me go. So his name is Uncle Kofi, but he
Okay.
inspired
Amazing. Like, thank you for Uncle Kofi to bring this voice to us because it would have been hidden for life.
me.
So I'm glad Uncle Kofi, was able to bring you to light and, get you that confidence and the boost to, to continue and actually share your amazing talent with us, you know?
I appreciate it.
So apart from all of that music, I know COVID has been a struggle for a lot of content creators, music
Yeah.
artists. They're not able to do shows, they're not able to go anywhere. So how were you able to cope through all this time and also like kind of stay creative and create things and things like that?
Honestly, I love the fact that happened, the COVID. I'm not saying the whole, but I would say COVID actually really helped me because sometimes when you feel like you're just doing so much,
Hmm.
going fast, but nothing is happening, like there's no motion. And I felt like I was that person. I was just so eager to put out music just because, like,
Yeah,
oh, it's been so long. Let me just throw this song here. But
yeah.
during the COVID time, it actually made me like learn so much about myself. And like, as I said, like, I feel like that was a healing process and journey for me.
Hmm.
Because I'm being honest, I used to just sit down and like try to pray a lot
Hmm.
and like ask God, like, what's my purpose? Like, where do you want to take me? And
Hmm.
like, I don't want to go deep in it, but I had to like literally sacrifice certain stuff that I love
Hmm.
just to like just for God to like say, hey, this is your time, this is for you. I have this plan for you because you were so patient with me.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna say I had like my ups and downs mentally with COVID because
yeah,
sometimes a lot of people lost money, jobs.
yeah,
So your mental health, and I
yeah,
feel like there are some pros, as I said, and some cons.
yeah.
And yeah, it
That's
made me it made me even stronger. COVID actually made me strong because I actually started. I learned how to sew during COVID, and
amazing. Yeah.
yeah, I was writing a lot of songs, but
Hmm.
I wasn't putting it out because I'm not gonna lie, I was still healing. But
Hmm.
I feel like once I started healing and being okay, everything was fine. I was unstoppable to be honest with you. I just felt so good, and it's not on my strength. That's like
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it up to God. That's
yeah.
God's strength, because I was doing it by myself,
Mhm.
trying to do everything. Girl, you name it. And I realized God said, hey, who do you really think you are? Like reality check, like sat me down, isolated me from literally everybody. Like I was in a shell, like a turtle in a shell, like isolated and
Yeah.
just figuring out everything. Like
Wow.
while I was aching, just praying at the same time.
Yeah.
So
I honestly feel like this was it's a great that you're able to use such a like important times where a lot of people in the world got impacted by it. Some find and rediscover themselves like you did, and then some were kind of like taken back by it. And
yeah.
COVID really put us through like a reset. Like we were all like, go, 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 hustle, 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 hustle.
It's true.
And it was like, no, take a break, chill, figure out what exactly you want.
Exactly. Exactly. It's true
Yeah.
though. And
Yeah.
sometimes like the media is affecting too because like
Mhm.
if you don't if you're not firm of who you really are, you're gonna
Yeah.
be like, looking at somebody else, not knowing how they're living behind closed doors. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
gonna be like, hey, I'm trying to be like this person, not knowing you don't know what this person has to do or what it takes, you know? So I just feel like everybody should always take a step back to realize to
Hmm.
be embrace who you really are, like, embrace you because
Yeah.
for you for a reason. God wouldn't bring you in this life and say, hey, your name is Lexi or your name is Michelle for no reason. You have your own pathway, they have their own pathway. Yeah.
For real, for real. And I'm glad you brought that up because even for myself, like I used to be the person who's like every event that's happening in the city, like my name on gotta be on that list. Now if you call me, I have to think twice. It's like, is it worth it? If it's not, I'm not coming.
Yeah. But that's different. I feel like with you, you always been like that. You've
Yeah,
been like like a go getter. You inspire me, as I said, like, you're one of the people that inspired. There's
yeah,
okay to be inspired, but it's inspired by somebody, but
yeah,
looking at someone and trying to be, like, hey, just by social media,
yeah.
that don't get you nowhere, baby girl. It's not gonna get you nowhere. Like you should
Yeah,
let people be inspired to be you, like, or if you're inspiring,
yeah.
if you're inspired by someone, be inspired, not bitter. Like,
That's true.
embrace. But
And
it's different nowadays.
And I feel like it's also important for me, like for example, if somebody were to be like, "Oh, Nisi, how you doing this thing?" And like now, before I would just kind of like give them the high level of like the good part and the glamorous part, but
Yeah,
I had to give them the real part because there's some things that are happening behind the scene people will not know, and these
it's
are the
true.
people that also like sometimes if somebody's looking up to you, they have to know because it's like it's not going to be always easy. There's days where like I would just be coming from the hospital with all the meds, and I'm still going to the show. My mom would be like, "Are you crazy?"
And
And the
that's
medication
yeah,
was like, my mom is like, "No, you need a break because."
yeah,
And I had to realize this the hard way. It's like when you're sitting in your on your hospital bed, and you know the only people that are around you is just your family, not
family.
anybody else that you're doing the work
True.
for. You start to be like, "No, I need to prioritize
No,
my health, my
exactly,
mental health, my physical health, and all that before I can actually start continuing doing what I do." And also
exactly,
that came with like me not being like available physically, but kind of turning it to online now. So
exactly.
I
It's
love
true.
the fact that you talked about mental health because it's such a taboo, especially in our community. We don't talk about it. We don't mention it. Yeah, so it's important for us to discuss those.
I understand where you're coming from, but I understand why you would want to like keep it to yourself too. Because
Yeah,
nowadays, not a lot of people are genuine. Like,
yeah,
you might say, "Hey, I'm going through this," and someone
yeah,
would use that against you. So it's like
yeah,
that's why it's always good to have close people, like
yeah,
family and like friends that you call even sisters, your
yeah,
blood, like
yeah,
around you. Those are the people you vent to. Because nowadays you can't really vent to
yeah.
anybody. Next thing you know,
The
you're
business,
on social media with your
you become a hot topic.
all because you being vulnerable, right? So sometimes, like,
Yeah,
I'm being honest, don't be too vulnerable. Like, yeah, because some people look at your weakness and try to use that against you. So whatever you're going through, go behind closed doors,
yeah.
talk to whoever you need to talk to, and don't let nobody see not one tear drop on your eye. Act like nothing happened.
Soldier for life.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, I'm so happy. And so I wanted to also know about what are some things that you're currently like working on and that we can like, be on the lookout for. Because we want to be able to support you, listen to your music, your amazing voice. Thanks to Uncle Kofi again. So what are you cooking up for us?
Honestly, I went to Atlanta not too long ago.
Yeah,
Um, I'm working. I started working with. He's actually like a big producer. His name
yeah,
is Nicktoons.
yeah,
Shout out to Nicktoons too,
yeah,
because he's one of the people that believed in me and made this happen.
yeah,
So I want to shout him out. If I have a project coming out, it's called. Yeah, I have two songs coming out actually.
yes,
Um, Yeah, look out that you should look out for that. I'll say next week.
Yeah.
About next week, yeah. I'm just
Heard
thinking
it here
about like
first.
I have a song with one of my she's like a sister. I call her a sister. She's one of a genuine people, like just
Yeah.
like you, Lexi. I have like I don't call people friends, but
Yeah.
this was one of like my sisters, and she's actually an artist too. Her
Yeah.
name is Sheila. We actually have a song called More Life coming out. So check that out soon. So
Okay. So two songs. And are you guys gonna be producing a music video? What's happening with that? Because I know
yeah,
you
for the
always kill it.
yeah, for the first song, the Me and Sila,
Yeah.
Sorry My Fingers is on the camera. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a video to that song. I'm
Oh,
not too sure about the one I recorded in Atlanta, but
yeah.
why not? If you're going in, you might as well go all the way in.
You go home, right?
Yes, there's no time to play this year, you know? Because
Awesome.
if you
Awesome.
started,
Yeah.
why stop?
So for let's say a young girl who's like looking up to Shelly right now, will be like, oh, I want to be like Michelle. I want to do music. I have a voice. I know music is one, like obviously certain percentage of it is talent and drive,
Yeah,
and then the other percentage of it is business.
it's
So what is the aspect of the business that can somebody learn from you or your experience that we're like, okay, you know what, I have to prepare myself mentally to be doing the business side of music as well.
I feel like with the business side of music, like when you do love what when you love what you do,
Hmm.
make sure you're getting paid for it too. It's not all about like putting something out for people to listen to. Make sure you're enjoying what you're doing and
Hmm.
you're able to benefit and make money from it so you can help other people, you
Hmm.
know, expand what they love to do too. It's not more like, hey, I love music. Let me put music one day
Hmm.
and go have fun the other day. This is like growing up, this is what I used to do. I'm giving to you guys just like that. It doesn't work like that. Like you put out a song and go to the beach the next day, wait 3 months, put out the next song. No, because there's actually people like that love you and are willing to listen to more music. So you doing that, they're like, yo,
Hmm.
what is this girl doing? Like, I'm waiting for the next song. Like,
Hmm.
why is she not putting out anything? So for like my young fans or even people that are about to do music, artists, is always make sure you loving what you do and
Hmm.
go 100% and don't let nobody stop you. There's going to be people that will try to, you know, try to, how do I say it, doubt you or make you feel like you're, am I doing something
Yeah.
that's right? Is this really my passion? No, you have to block all that noise.
Hmm.
Like, because when you actually love what you're doing, at the end of the day, it's automatically going to block. Because
Yeah.
when you put your foot down to something and say, I'm going to go all in, there's no stopping it. And that's how I feel. Like, I had people even comment, like, hey, stop music. Like, you're whack. Like, you should.
Artists
That
here?
means
No.
that was the times where, like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know how my music was pushing sometimes, but
The,
let's say there'll like be an event.
yeah.
Oh, do you want to host? Like just bare like blessings
Yeah.
on blessings, like, and is that's me about to quit what I love to do, and
Hmm.
that's start saying, hey, baby girl, you crazy? You made it this far, so just know who you are. And
Yeah.
wait, the biggest thing really is putting God first. Like
Yeah.
in this world you can be distracted by a lot of stuff if you're in school, if you're in, as you said, like you've been working so hard that you'd even have no time for yourself.
Hmm.
Sometimes you have to put God and ask him to direct you, like what's my
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
And I feel like once you have that relationship with God, there's nothing that can really stop you, like in this world, literally.
That's for sure. That's for sure. And then with the fact that you also mentioned like the hater side of things, I remember initially when I started YouTube, I
Hmm.
the first 10 views I got, and then I got one dislike and a one mean comment. I immediately went to my cousin, thought she did it. And she was like, no, I did not do this. But then a few more came. They're like, oh, what are you doing? The quality is trash and da 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 da. That was
Are you
like,
serious?
yeah, like
Yeah.
honestly, and to a point, like when I started writing a blog, there was a genuine somebody reached out to me. They're like, "Oh, you shouldn't be writing a blog because you're not a journalist." So these real haters are out there. You just need to block them because sometimes they might give you okay if they criticizes you. You can look at it either A, am I gonna be listening to them and improve on it, or A, am I gonna be like taking it
Go harder. Yeah.
hard and actually give up. For me, I did not give up. I'm like, okay, yeah. She said, I'm not a journalist. It's fine. I went back to college, did my digital marketing, and
Okay.
started publishing. So it was sometimes these haters will actually make you even a stronger person.
That was a nice story. This girl said I went to get my journalist degree. Good.
I'm like, girl, you're not. I'm gonna, if you need, I'm gonna make sure that this brand is well
Yeah.
known. And I had to go and learn the marketing, digital marketing. And it's such a blessing. I had to leave health science and not do full time digital marketing because I found love with it. But
Aw.
that's because of a one single comment person say, oh, you don't have the qualification to be doing this because you did not have the degree on it.
But since when were you, professor, telling me what I should be doing?
So I genuinely love the fact that you brought this up because there are some people here that want to do amazing things, but then as soon as like they put something out, people want to criticize you, people want to like bring you down because they don't see the vision on themselves that they want to project.
Exactly.
If it's your singing is your passion, go ahead. Be like Michelle. Be like, you know what? Take your time, get to know yourself, and get to know that this is actually what you want to do, and then do it.
That is true.
Haters. Sometimes I feel like haters are just confused, fan.
And one thing I wanted to say too,
Yeah.
if you don't be careful and not know yourself, like you see how you got triggered, you're like, yo, I thought this was my cousin. Like
Yeah.
sometimes haters will make make me cousin. Because that's how like you get triggered sometimes, because you're not used to. I know you're like the sweetest girl. You're not used to someone to say like, "What the hell?" Like this has to be my cousin, someone that I know. But I'm telling you, like when you reach a point where like you actually know yourself and you're firm and you love yourself,
Yeah.
it's even so funny to you. Like you see something like that, it's like, yeah, okay, let me even piss them off even more. Like, no, it's true. Like, it's true. It's like, as I said, when people know your weakness, they're gonna try to poke at you. So when you use your weakness as a stepping stone, you're unstoppable. Like
Exactly.
hating, okay, that's funny to me. Let me
And
put
some,
out a song.
and sometimes I'm also saying that like, don't be projecting all your weakness on social media because some people would want to use that against you. And
It's
especially
true.
if you're not mentally strong, you're gonna take it to heart and you're not gonna pursue what you want to do because you're like,
It's
oh,
true.
now the whole world know I'm insecure, but this X, Y, and Z
It's
and
true.
I'll
Exactly.
rub it on you and it's gonna trigger you mentally and your mental health is very strong. You need to apply
Exactly.
that on social media, yeah.
And that's why, yeah, it's true. What you said was this was a good conversation. But what you said was really true because
Yeah.
of the day, you have to know your trauma before someone tries to, you
Yeah.
know, you have to, sometimes people actually are going through stuff and are trying to blame someone for
Yeah.
their whatever they're going through. And one thing too, even though you have a trauma or you've been through a lot,
Mm-hmm.
don't be that person that is like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck here. This is why I'm like this. No, if you are like that, you're gonna be stuck in that same place.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a person that like, I'm gonna learn from this, I'm gonna learn from my mistakes. I'm gonna learn from my trauma. I would never want like my kids to go through this or my future.
Mm-hmm.
Anything.
Yeah.
So like, you should always just learn from your trauma instead of playing victim too. So
Exactly. And sometimes like those experience that we go through, it helps us to be stronger and be better at it because
exactly.
next time if somebody trying to throw that at you, you're like, you know what, I've been there, done that. Like it's not gonna affect me anyway, anyhow.
It's more like, huh? A joke. That's a joke.
You did play.
But back then, it would be like, oh, sad. But it's true. You have to learn from
Yeah,
those types of stuff.
no problem. So are we before we depart, I know we have some few minutes left, but where can people find your music? Where can they stream it or like even like purchase your music if you have?
You can go on Spotify,
Hmm.
Michelle, or say. Yeah, it's everywhere. On SoundCloud, but on SoundCloud is Michelle Osei
Hmm.
22. That's my my full name. And yeah, YouTube. Yeah, it's on all streaming platforms. So
Amazing, amazing. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for coming here today. I feel like we had such a productive meeting, as well as just kind of, sharing a lot of great insights. And
yeah.
for anybody that is wanting to dive into music, I know you share all the great wisdom. Before we walk away from here, can you give us three lessons that you had so far that somebody can take away from you? Like
One of you said lessons, right?
lessons, yeah.
Yeah. I'll say me. If you tell me great lessons, I have to give you three. But I would say like putting God first. Don't ever think. I'm not saying God, but if you believe in, a higher power,
Hmm.
but I believe in God. But I say put God first and don't think you can't. When you think you can do stuff on your own, that's when God shows up. Like once you're down, like bottom, that's when God shows up and
Hmm.
shows out for you. And just loving yourself, putting yourself first, and don't try to make other people happy if you're not truly happy within. Because
Hmm.
at the end of the day, these people don't know us. Like, if they're gonna wake up, be worried about themselves, and you're there, what, sad,
Yeah,
worried about what? At the end of the day, make sure you're good before you even try to help somebody else.
yeah, that's
And
for
there's
sure.
nothing wrong with helping with people, but just make sure you're secure with who you are before you even try to even give someone advice.
Hmm.
Just do that too.
For sure, for sure.
That's
Thank
it.
you so much for your wisdoms and your lessons and also sharing your story with us. We look forward to your two new music videos as well as songs that you're dropping in a week. So
Yeah.
for that, and I'll make sure to drop the link in the description below. So for those who want to follow Michelle, all her Spotify, SoundCloud will all be in the description below. Thank you, Michelle, for being here. It was such an honor to have you.
Thank you so much. Take care. Have a blessed day. Take
Bye.
care.
Good day.
Bye.
Bye.
No, never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic. Got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play,